Hi, I've been asked by a few people to demonstrate via video how I was able to get my Jupiter image so nice. Um, Keep in mind that I'm not an expert on the two tools I'm using, Autostakkert and Registax. I just started using Autostakkert just a couple of days ago, but it seemed pretty straightforward and the results kind of speak for themselves. Anyways, I shot a 10-second or so video of Jupiter just as a test. I was checking out focus. My main goal was to work with the moon. The moon was about 70% that night, but hey, Jupiter was up there, so I said, hey, let's just take a video of Jupiter and what the heck, check the focus. So the first thing I will do is I've got Autostakkert open. As you can see, there are two frames. There's the left frame and there's the right frame. So in your left frame, the first thing you notice, there are a couple of buttons. It's open, analyze, and stack, and those are the procedures that we're going to follow. You will go from one to the other. The frame process happens after we've completed the first two, and then we will go over to the right frame, do some selections, and then finish off with the stack. So the first thing we should do is just open up our file, and you can see this is a 9-second 421 megabyte video clip using the Mallincam VRC8, and I was using the DS2.3 we have a 2.5 barlow, again, all Mallincam products. Anyways, highlight your video, just click open. And what it's doing is going to open up that video into the right frame. I'm just going to use the little sliders if I can to find the beastie. Just maneuver this thing around. Right there. And you can see this faint little fuzzy thing right there. Yep, that'd be my Jupiter. If I hit play, you can watch it just slowly bounce around. See what it looks like. One of the little tricks you can do, if you go to display options and you go brighten, I'm just going to go up once and you can just see it look a bit brighter, right? This is not going to affect what the image looks like. Like it says, it does not alter the data, but it just makes it easy to see, and you can kind of sense the bands and the red spots right over here someplace. So I was feeling pretty cool, happy with that. But it number one, it's great to see Jupiter look like that in real time. But let's see what we can do with this beastie. So for planets, I found because it's planet, you want to make sure it says planet rather than surface. I click dynamic background, so it makes it easy for the program to determine the black from the planet. Quarterly estimator, because it's a pretty good semi-image inside there, I'm going to go with 3, leave it at local, and what the heck. If the image resizes just a bit because of atmospheric turbulence, let Autostakkert do its job, and let's really improve the stacking capabilities. So these are my defaults, and then all we have to do is hit analyze. You'll notice that it does its little thing, and it comes up with a quality. Now, not the best quality, but I was happy with it, especially with just a VRC8, and the moon was out, and it was just kind of a test run. Now, what you're seeing here is the stuff that's above is good. The stuff that below, not so good. So here's the 50% marker, and then it ranks it with this green line, right? High to low, and it seems, I kind of read this, 25, that's about 30%, where the green line kind of crosses crosses the 50% line. So it gives me some ideas where I want to go with choosing my quality, right? And different rules. People say, I'm going to go 30%. I'm going to go 40%, 50%. I'm going to just fill in these boxes. So it's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of images, right? It's going to pick the best 30% of this whole set, then the best 40%, best 50%, best 60%. Normalize, that just makes sure that the if it dims a bit, it brightens it back up. I'm going to make it do sharpen, right? What that means is it will save two versions of the file for each of these percentages. One will be just stacked, and the other will be stacked and then sharpened using this algorithm. I'll always pick RGB align, just to make sure the colors align. You can see I haven't done any color tweaking in here, so the Jupiter was a bit low. It's kind of got a greenish tinge, and we know that's not really what the color looks like. And then just save it in the folders. I've turned off drizzle, right? Because I don't need. I'm not going to be publishing this thing, and there's not a lot of data inside this image. Is just the small little Jupiter. So we've done the first 2 steps. Now we'll come over here, and you can choose any way you. What we want to do, we want to have little rectangles that encode enough regions that it covers the planet and large enough so that it's got some comparison, so it knows where it can actually align itself. So I've chosen 24. Well, you can go higher or lower. So I'll show you what I mean. If I do 400, first of all, you see nothing happened to it. That was very, very exciting. And if I start playing with this number here, right, again, nothing is happening. So this means the square is too big. So I'll just take it down to 24, right, and you can start to see grids. So if I go to 48, a bit bigger, 104, too big, right? So these are just 2 stacking things. So you don't want to go wild and crazy. So I'm choosing 24. Again, let me just show you what happens here. If I just change this number to make it bigger, let's go over here and click. So a bit bigger, a bit bigger. See if there's less. So just trying to pick the bright ones. And if I go down too low, you see it came up with close to 13,000 little things. That's way too. I'll be here for years trying to resolve this thing. So I try to pick a number, and I find about 10 works of this image where the planet itself is the only one that has little rectangles, and there's enough rectangles that overlap and they're big enough to contain some detail. So we've selected that, and now the number 3 stack is highlighted, ready to go. All you have to do is click stack. Well, watch it do its thing, right? And now remember, for each of these 30% of the images, 40% of the images, 50% of the images, 60% of the images, for each one of those, it's going to stack and produce two files. One where it's stacked, and then the other one where it's stacked and sharpened. So at the 30%, there'll be a 30% one where it's stacked and then stacked and sharpened. Then I'll do another 2 sets at 40%. So 40% stacked, 40% stacked and sharpened, and then 50%, and then 60%. Each one of these pairs of images will be in its own little folder. So we just have to be patient while it does its thing. and you can listen to me talk while this thing works its way through. Now the reason why I went 30, 40, 50, 60 was I wasn't sure which one was the best, and I guess with more experience, and if you had better data, this graph over here will be above the 50% line a lot longer, right? So it may be over here and then dip down and have a few bad images, but if you're like me, you just shoot with what you've got and you cross your fingers. So anyways, it says done. So the component with Autostakkert is in fact completed. Let me just show you what we kind of got out of this. So let me just close this program. Someplace over here is the folder, and remember the folder before just had the video clip. Like I said, there's the video, 421.9 seconds, and it produced the 4 folders, right? For the 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, right? And so if you open up, let's say the 30%, there's the 2 major videos. There's one, and this number just tells everything about it, so it just says, okay, what video file it used, I guess what percentage it was dealing with, and when you see the word con, that means that's the way it's sharpened. So anyways, let's go over here, and I'm just going to open this with Windows Viewer so we can have a look at this guy. And this is, remember, this is just stacked, and this guy, we'll open up this guy, and this will be stacked and sharpened. So again, let me just put them in the right order. It looks nicer on this side and this side. Anyways, so again, this is with the 30%. This is stacked, and sharpened. And some people are satisfied with this. Now again, I know the color is off, but we can make Registax actually work with that. So let me just close these 2 guys down. I'm going to work with I find it's best to work with the one with sharpened, and I'm going to try to tweak the sharpening. So go into Registax, go to select, and let's take ourselves to the folder, and it was DS something. Not that one. Yeah, when you try to do it, there it is, DS2.3 video. So, and we'll look at, remember, we'll look at the 30% one, right? This is 30% of the images, and we'll actually run through this, but just to see what happens. But here's the 30% one. There's the 2 files, right? Here's the one that has the conv behind it. So I'll select this and just say open. I will say yes here, and there's the image, right? Sharpened, and you can see some more detail. The red spots right there. But then we're going to go to the wavelets. Now I created, and I'm just lazy. Anyways, I created these numbers, and it's just a starting point for me, just to see where it is. And you can see with the starting point already, it's like overdone. So what I do is I turn off these little guys, and you just want to, this is the art of the arts and science. So look what happens when I just move this thing. I'm going to move this thing right down over here, and you can see it's -5, but it's like kind of ugly blurry. I'm just going to bring it up until it looks, and then you can see you're starting to see stuff, and it looks a bit better, but I think I've overdone it. So you just play with this by moving it back and forth, and because it's highlighted, I can use my arrow keys just to take it a bit more. So I'm taking that to about here. It's still a bit. Well, we'll just play with that. Let's activate number 2, and again do the same idea. I just bring it out a bit. So you're trying to get more more detail without overdoing it. And then let's activate number 3. You're just playing with this thing just a bit. Starting to see some wispy stuff over here. It's kind of cool, right? Activate. You go as much as you want. You can see overdid it. Just slide it back. Maybe in this one, I don't know if this, like each one, just tweaks it just a bit more. You're starting to see some red material, red spot pop out over here. Again, you're just tweaking it, and then I don't know if this one improves it or doesn't do too much. And I usually go back to the top just to take it back a bit if I can. Again, you get to play with it just a bit until you get what you want. So I've selected these guys, and yeah, it looks just a bit green, but remember, you're looking at a zoomed up image. Then here's something very cool. Go to RGB balance. Click this guy, and I click auto balance, and it seems to do a really good job in getting the colors. Now, once you've done this, it's just keeping this in mind, but it hasn't really affected the program. Hit the do all button here, and I was going to do the exact same process now on the actual file. There it is, and there's our image. I'm going to sit there and do save image. I'm going to put it into the same folder that we had before, just to keep track of what I was dealing with. So there's my DS video. There is this thing, and I started my own naming convention, and I'm going to call it, like, I know because the column, it says this is the one that was sharpened by Autostakkert. So I'm going to sit there and say, okay, this was RGB balanced, and I did some wave stuff to it. Save it as a TIFF, hit OK, and we are done. Now we go to my program, and let me just shut this thing down. Let me go close this guy down. Close this is my Autostakkert. I want to try to find my my program someplace on my screen. You can find it when you want to, right? So let's see if we can find my DS2.3 video. There it is. So again, now the only thing that I have that's different is this new TIFF file, right? So again, I'll go over here and view it with photo viewer. So there's that. And if you can recall, let me just go over here and open up this guy. This was I'll open up all three. This was the one that was just stacked, and this was the one stacked and sharpened again through just with Autostakkert. So you can notice that, oh, there's too much. Let's make it nice and small. Over here, I wonder if I can shrink these guys down about. I'm going to get so you can see. There's just the stacked image, right? Something's there, so we can get that. But here's the stack and sharpened. But here's the stack sharpened and then resharpened using and recolored using our friend Registax. Again, this was just a 9-second video with the moon being up, and this is the power of the Mallincam cameras. Just amazing. So hopefully this video gives you a starting point, and you can take this and run with it and see what else you can do. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you.